In a peaceful village lived a talented young carpenter named Arjun. Ever since he was a child, he dreamed of building the finest furniture workshop anyone had ever seen. Every evening, he imagined people traveling from distant villages just to buy his beautiful creations. The villagers admired Arjun's talent. Whenever he showed his drawings, everyone praised him. "One day, you'll become the greatest carpenter in the village," they said. But Arjun had one habit that quietly stole his future. Whenever it was time to begin, he always smiled and said, "I'll start when the time is perfect." One day, his father offered him a small piece of land to build his dream workshop. It was everything Arjun had wished for. Yet instead of beginning, he answered with familiar words. "I'll wait a little longer." The rainy season arrived. Arjun said he'd wait for clear skies. When the rains ended, he waited for more money. After that, he waited for the village festival. Every excuse sounded reasonable. Every delay felt harmless. Months quietly turned into years. Arjun's notebook became filled with brilliant ideas, but his workshop remained empty. Dreams written on paper never became reality. Not far away lived another carpenter named Ravi. He wasn't as talented as Arjun. His tools were old, his workshop was tiny, and his money was limited. But Ravi had something Arjun didn't, the courage to begin. Every day, Ravi made mistakes. Every mistake taught him something new. Slowly, one customer became 2, then 5, then 10. While Arjun waited for perfection, Ravi built success one small step at a time. Months passed, and Ravi never stopped learning. Every chair he built was better than the last. His small workshop slowly became known throughout the village, not because he was perfect, but because he kept improving every single day. Meanwhile, Arjun was still planning. Every new idea went into his notebook. Every opportunity was postponed. His dreams became bigger, but his actions remained the same. One evening, Arjun's father sat beside him and quietly asked, "Son, how long will you keep waiting?" Arjun smiled and answered, "Just a little longer. I want everything to be perfect." Seasons changed again and again. The trees grew taller. Children became adults. But Arjun's dream remained exactly where it had always been, inside his notebook. By now, Ravi's tiny workshop had transformed into one of the busiest furniture stores in the region. Skilled workers joined him, and customers traveled from distant villages to buy his handcrafted furniture. One morning, Arjun heard people talking excitedly about the finest furniture shop in the village. Curious, he followed the crowd, and froze in disbelief. As he looked around, Arjun realized something painful. Every chair, every table, every smiling customer represented the future he had dreamed about for years. His biggest competitor wasn't Ravi. It was the time he had wasted. Ravi walked over with a warm smile. Arjun quietly asked, "How did you become so successful?" Ravi replied gently, "I wasn't waiting to become perfect. I simply started. Every mistake became my teacher, and every day made me a little better." That night, Arjun couldn't sleep. Ravi's words echoed in his mind. He finally realized that he hadn't been waiting for the perfect time, he had been hiding behind excuses. Before sunrise, he made a promise that would change his life forever. Before the first rays of sunlight reached the village, Arjun unlocked his old workshop. It wasn't perfect. The tools were old, the roof leaked, and he had no customers. But for the first time, he stopped waiting and finally began. His first chair was crooked. His second table had uneven legs. Some customers politely walked away. But instead of quitting, Arjun smiled, learned from every mistake, and promised himself to become better tomorrow. Weeks turned into months. One satisfied customer recommended another. Slowly, the empty workshop filled with the sound of hammers, laughter, and opportunity. Years later, Arjun's workshop had become one of the most respected in the region. The dreams that once existed only in his notebook had finally become reality through daily action. One afternoon, Ravi visited Arjun's workshop. The two old friends smiled at each other, knowing that success wasn't about talent alone. It was about having the courage to take the very first step. Young apprentices often asked Arjun how he became successful. He would smile, hold up his old notebook, and say, "Dreams written on paper change nothing. Dreams followed by action can change your entire life. Remember, the perfect time doesn't exist. If you keep waiting, life will move on without you. Start with what you have. Learn as you go. Every small step you take today brings you closer to the future you've always dreamed of. Don't wait for the perfect moment, create it."